Hey everyone, it is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and I am up for Technique Tuesday, and I am doing a recipe. So I hope you play along and tag me. So the first thing is pattern paper that you can see. And then there is acrylic. Then there's making a shaker, mixed media, and bows. So I started with a pattern paper background, and I'm going to do a little mixed media on there. So mixed media includes paints and anything, including stamping, which was my main thought. But I decided to tone down this background paper with a little bit of white paint, and I decided to put it on with my brayer. Why not? So went ahead and put that on. Now off screen, I did make a shaker pineapple using the pineapple shaker die and put Dole Whip pixie dust in it. And then I made 4 other just a plain, well, they're not really plain, but they are how they are designed. So I have a total of 5 pineapples, 4 of which are not shakers and 1 is a shaker. So far I have the pattern paper, the mixed media, and the shaker done. So while my mixed media is drying a little bit, I am going to take my 2 photos, which are from the Tiki Room, which I love the Tiki Room. It is like one of my absolute favorite places to go hang out. And this particular time we went during the fireworks show, so we were like the only ones in there, and you have to eat Dole Whip while you're in the Tiki Room. I think it's just mandatory. So that's what we were doing. And then so I have the birds coming down, and then I have the totem pole, and then I'm also going to add I can't remember his name. Dang it. So I'm going to add one more bird photo. So that's going to come in a little bit. Now, I felt like I needed a shelf in between my photos and my pineapples so that my photos weren't just sitting completely on my pineapples. So I'm going to add a strip of that one. That pink and white polka dot. So I'm just going to tear that. I'm going to put that underneath my photos. Each of my photos was matted with a different pattern paper and kind of layered a little cockeye, because that's what I do. I'm not much for very straight. So I'm going to start with my shaker in the middle, and isn't that just the cutest? So I decided not to do the extra little leaf on the top of the non-shaker ones and just do the extra leaf on the shaker one. So here I am. I'm checking off my recipes so that I make sure that I'm following along well and I am not forgetting. So I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. And so I pull my swatch book and I end up with Forest. I'm not sure what it's called. Let me see if I can find it. They're just across the room a little bit. Rustic Wilderness. That's kind of like forest. It's kind of a forest green color. So I'm going to do some stamping. So the first thing I want to do is stamp my title, which says "In My Happy Place." And so I go ahead and do that on the same pink paper that my shelf is. And then I'm just going to fussy cut around it. And I'm actually going to put that in the center of my photos. So right there. Love how that looks. So I did test it a couple times and made sure it worked. I'm going to pop it up just like my shaker pocket so that it has a little dimension. And then I think I'm going to do my other stamping now. Let's see. I made this a little bit ago. So, oh no, I'm gonna go for my acrylic. So in this collection, it is called Tiki Treats. And I'm going to get 3 out of the 4 of them on there. This one, the colors just weren't right. It works really well up there as far as positioning goes, but the colors were just a little too much. So I'm gonna get the 2 Dole Whips and the pineapple on there. And I'm like, okay, I got my acrylic. My last thing is a bow. So I am using the Bows and Crowns #1. The stamp that I'm using is Magical Memories as well. So I've pulled out some bows. I know I want to put a bow up there by my title, but that actually is not the bow that stays up there, and I will get another one. So I am using an old hip kit. It's actually a, what's it called? Like Easter. So there's not like a ton of things that I can use, but I do get a couple of florals, word phrase that says, let's hang out and have fun. Another word phrase that says, who can resist this? And then a rainbow. And then I think I'm also from the chipboard going to get a little house and a little circular piece that says us. Also, I get a heart. And then the other hearts that I'm going to put on there are actually they're the leftover hearts you see from the die cuts of the pineapples. You see the center of it is all hearts. So I kept all those little hearts. You can see them up with my bows to the right. So I'm actually going to use those for embellishing as well. So there is that third picture, and that bird and the bird on my acrylic piece are like identical. They are perfect. So they just had to go together. I used a chipboard frame from that hip kit, and there's that us that I'm putting down, and I'm not going to use that arrow, but I am going to get the house on. So my layout is coming together pretty well. I have everything from my recipe done. So I'm just going to take a little bit of time and fuss with a few different things. This is where that acrylic piece comes off and a die cut floral goes on top. And here's where I'm going to change that bow as well. I'm going to decide on this cute pink bow, and I'm going to put it up at the top. And then I'm also going to grab a little pink sparkly bow, and I'm going to put that on my shaker so you can see it right there. So I did get 2 on, and now I'm going to finish off with, it's like a little like star stamp, and I'm going to use the same Distress Oxide, and I'm going to go all the way around my photos, and there's no real rhyme or reason. I'm just going with what I feel like works. Now I am using a piece of fun foam because I've noticed that it stamps a little bit better when I have a little cushion underneath. I think somebody mentioned that to me. So I'm sorry, I don't remember who that was, but thank you, because I love how this is stamping. So once I get that down, and my dog barks for no reason, I'm going to verify that I have everything, and then I'm going to go off screen and add the rest of my title, which says Tiki, and that's going to go up at the top. I do have a couple of close-ups for you because I am in love with this layout. I would love to know what you think. And again, please, please, please use my recipe and tag me so that I can see what you make. There is the final layout. Make sure you head over to the shop and use my code CrystalB as in boy 15 to save 15% in the shop. Remember to wear your crown. Bye.